What's up everybody? So as you guys might already know, I have a Robinhood investment account for the past few years now, and I have around a $10,000 total inside that account. But I'm still fairly new to investing, and I've made plenty of mistakes over the past few years that I would definitely avoid today if I knew then what I know now. For example, one of them being that you can't just rely on buying random new stocks that you know nothing about and expecting them to explode short term. Nowadays you hear so many people recommending so many new stocks with the possibility of them skyrocketing short term, which is always very enticing, especially to new investors like you and I that want to make some quick money. But as expected, doing this has lost me a lot of money short term in several different companies, when instead I should have been investing into safer stocks that I know for sure would do good long term. But like always, every single failure has a lesson, and I've learned that for every single person that makes a lot of money in these new companies, there are thousands of people that are losing money at the same time. This made me realize that this is not the type of wealth that I want to build for myself in my investing journey. And that's exactly why in this video I want to talk about the 5 best stocks that you can put your money in today and hold it there for the rest of your life without worrying as much as I did. Hi guys, my name is Dennis, and in this channel I talk about personal finance as well as my continuous journey to financial freedom. Now before we get started, I just want to give you guys a small disclaimer that I'm not an investing professional or a financial advisor of any kind. I'm just a guy on YouTube that's trying to achieve financial independence by creating a community like this one so that we can all share our journeys together, learn together, and grow together. Throughout my short investing journey, I learned that the best and safest stocks to invest in besides blue chip dividend stocks are ETFs. And ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, which is a fund made of several different investments all combined into one place. So when an investor is buying a share of an ETF, they're actually buying a whole bunch of investments all in one fund. Now the 5 best ETFs that I think that every single person should own throughout their life is VOO, VTI, VYM, SPHD, and PEY. The first 2 ETFs on this list is VOO and VTI, and it's oriented around growth. The third ETF on my list is actually oriented around both growth and dividend income. And the last 2 ETFs on my list, which is SPHD and PEY, are oriented around dividend income only. Now I wanted to mention this because there's a big difference between growth stocks and dividend income stocks. VOO and VTI are actually growth ETFs, which means that they're going to bring up your overall portfolio long term while giving you very low amounts of dividend. While at the same time, ETFs like SPHD and PEY will give you high amounts of dividends right now, but it won't grow your portfolio a lot long term. This difference is important to know because it really depends on the type of retirement that you want to have in the future. With growth ETFs like VOO and VTI, you're going to have to sell some shares in the future in order to pay for your lifestyle. But with dividend ETFs like SPHD and PEY, you won't have to sell your shares, and you can just take the income from your dividends and pay for your lifestyle. That's why the 5th ETF on this list is VYM, and VYM is a perfect combination between growth stocks and dividend stocks because it has both. That's why I feel like an investment portfolio made out of these 5 ETFs will give you guys the perfect combination between growth stocks and dividend stocks that you can own for life. Now I just want to break down all 5 of these ETFs separately so that you guys know some details about them. So most of you guys probably already know about VOO, which is Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. This ETF is made out of the top 500 companies in the United States all in one fund, like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Alphabet, Berkshire Hathaway, Johnson & Johnson, and the list goes on and on. Now this ETF fluctuated a lot during its inception date, but if you look at when it got started and where it is right now, it's still going up. So this VOO ETF brings an average annual return of around 7 to 10% with an annual dividend rate of around 1.61%. Now the next ETF on this list is VTI, which is also known as Vanguard's Total Stock Market ETF. And unlike VOO, which represents the top 500 companies in the United States, VTI actually represents all 3,000 plus companies in the United States. So investing into one share of VTI UTI actually means that you're investing in the United States as a whole. This ETF has an average compound annual return of around 10% yearly with a dividend rate of about 1.60% yearly. Now moving on to the third ETF, which is VYM, and it stands for Vanguard's High Dividend Yield ETF. And like I mentioned before, this ETF is a perfect combination between growth and dividend income because in the past 30 years it had an average annual growth of around 10% and a dividend yield of around 2.91%. It's the perfect middle ground between growth and dividend income that I plan on owning for life. Now moving on to the fourth ETF, which is SPHD, and it stands for Invesco S&P 500 High Dividend Low Volatility ETF. This is pretty much an S&P 500 based ETF that took some companies out of the S&P 500 that have a high dividend yield and put them into a completely separate ETF. Now this ETF doesn't have much growth overall because they picked the low volatility stocks of the S&P 500. SPHD has a dividend yield of 3.81% that you guys can be making and compounding and reinvesting over time. And now moving on to the fifth and final ETF that I'm recommending, which is PEY. And PEY stands for Invesco High Yield Equity Dividend Achievers ETF. And just like the previous ETF, this one doesn't have a lot of growth overall, but it does have an annual dividend rate of 4.24%. These two ETFs provide us an opportunity to earn safe dividends that we can own for life. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so that you can help this video spread to more people. Thank you. Now, if you guys can buy into these 5 ETFs consistently over time, you'll be making more than 99% of investors out there. And plus, you could be expecting to double your money every 7 to 10 years while investing into these ETFs. So every single dollar that you put in right now will possibly double in 7 to 10 years. Now, this is known as the rule of 72, but I'm not going to be talking about it in this video. I think that these 5 ETFs are a perfect combination between growth, dividend income, and safety. At least for me, and I plan on owning all of these shares for life. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about these 5 ETFs, and I'll be sure to respond to you right away. Now, I know these 5 ETFs are the only ones I'm concentrating on right now, but I also have other dividend stocks in my portfolio. That's why you can go check out this video right here where I break down my October dividend income. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.